So happy to be joined by our host for today's Kingsport Chamber Zone here at Hamlett-Dobson Funeral Homes. Chad Correll is the president of Hamlett-Dobson, and he and the Childress family have a long-established tradition and history here in this community, having been huge friends and supporters of not only your Kingsport Chamber, but the overall greater Kingsport community. So, Chad, thanks for hosting us today.
Glad to be here, and thank you.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, happy birthday. 100 years old. That's Hamlett-Dobson, not you. No. And your first appearance on the CZ.
It
so,
is,
yeah.
yes, and we appreciate you
great.
coming to Hamlett-Dobson to have this done here today.
Absolutely.
Yeah, well, Hamlett-Dobson, 100 years old, a long-established tradition of excellence in this community. So talk about your wonderful history for a moment and how the Hamlett-Dobson story got started.
Well, it all started back in 1916 when the city saw a need for funeral service, and they recruited Jim Hamlett from Clarksville, Tennessee, who came to Kingsport on a train and started the undertaking department in the back of the big store, which was located in downtown. And then shortly thereafter, I guess it was around 1918, Mr. Dobson had returned from World War I, and he joined Mr. Hamlett in the big store, and those two became business partners. And during that time, the city of Kingsport was the model city, and they were going to take a leap of faith and move the undertaking department out of the big store and bring it to where we currently are today. And so they felt like if the business did not survive, they would at least have some real estate. So here we are 100 years later.
And you've been in this location for 90 of those.
Since 1926,
right.
yes,
Wow.
we have.
Years,
Yes, certainly.
It's just amazing. Well, can you talk to us about some of the services that you're able to offer grieving families?
Well, thank you. Our main objective every day is to help a family and a community face the reality of death. We do that through offering traditional funeral services, which is mainly what we do, and that's when we have a public gathering, a funeral ceremony, and then some type of burial in our area. In addition to those, we have offerings in memorial services. Very much the same thing as a traditional funeral service. However, there's no casket present. And we offer cremation services. Another thing we do is pre-arrangement services. This allows people to make decisions about a loved one or their own wishes when it comes time for a funeral. So we can either do that in someone's home, they can come to the funeral home and meet us here, and if they prefer to pre-fund it, they can. However, it's not a requirement. You can make your wishes known and not pay a thing. The thing I want you to know is that we do not use any type of commissioned salesperson to accomplish that, okay? So, and then in addition to that, we do offer grief support to our community. We partnered with Covenant Counseling, First Broad Street United Methodist Church, Well and Hospice, and we offer programs, a 6-week program, different times of the year, and they meet once a week for 6 weeks, and it's designed for those people who need some special assistance in moving through their loss.
Sure. And one of the other things that we also want to highlight, though, is that in addition to those services, there is just exceptional and compassionate care here at Hamlett-Dobson that really sets you apart.
Well, the uniqueness about our business is that we've never closed. Since 1916, we've had someone available 24 hours a day, 365 days a year to respond to the needs of this community. So that separates.
That's amazing when you put it that way, yeah.
Yes. So, and then in addition to that, we are locally owned and operated. All decisions that are made here at Hamlett-Dobson are done right here. Locally, we don't have to answer to some distant corporate headquarters, and then and with the cremation becoming more and more popular, we own and operate our own crematorium, which gives us complete control, and we can have high standards and hold ourselves accountable for what we do.
Right.
Family is obviously very important to Hamlett-Dobson, your tradition, not only the families you serve, but the legacy of the family ownership here at Hamlett-Dobson. So talk about the importance of that family legacy for a moment.
It's the backbone of what we are about, and it all started with our family with Mr. Dobson, Jimmy Dobson, and he passed that legacy of carrying on to his son-in-law, Harold Childress. Back in 1961, Harold joined the firm, and I I joined the firm. I married Beth, Harold and Emily's daughter, and I joined the team in 1992. And I have 3 sons who are, one of them is expressing interest in the operation, but we'll wait and see where that leads us.
Sure. Something we mentioned at the top of the show is that Hamlett-Dobson is also known for your heavy involvement in the community and your support of the Kingsport community. You do so much for Kingsport and so many organizations here. Talk about that for a moment and why that's important to Hamlett-Dobson.
Well, I think a big reason we are so involved is we are members of the Kingsport Chamber of Commerce, which has introduced us to Keep Kingsport Beautiful, and we've partnered with them in the Hamlett-Dobson Tree Fund. We've partnered with FunFest and have been a 30-year sponsor of Farm Fest during that special week here in our community. But we encourage people to be our staff to be involved. We're involved in churches. We're involved in civic groups. We've been pace setters with the United Way for many, many years. Anything we can do to improve the quality of life in Kingsport is what we want to be about.
Sure. Well, and you mentioned Keep Kingsport Beautiful's Tree Fund, which is something that I'd love to come back to and talk about, because that is such a unique involvement for your organization here and makes such a great impact here on the community.
Such an amazing program. Robin Cleary does an exceptional job of managing that for us. But yes, since its inception in 1986, we've sponsored that, and there are 2 plantings a year, one in the spring, one in the fall. During that time, there will be names of people read who have been honored or in memory of, and you can become a participant in that if you make donations to the Tree Fund at Keep Kingsport Beautiful, and it's such a great event, and it brings new life, hope, and I think love to our area.
Sure.
Well, and it's certainly transformed the landscape of the city, because when you just think about all of the areas where we've been able to have a tree fund planting, it really has made an impact.
It has been wonderful. I drive around town and I see parks. I see the carousel was one of our most recent plantings. Right here in front of Hamlett-Dobson, we had a special one this year. But you drive around and you see those, it makes you feel really good about bringing new life to our area.
Right.
We want to congratulate Hamlett-Dobson again for being 100 years old, and that truly is remarkable. Talk about that century of excellence and what it means to not only Hamlett-Dobson, but to the families you serve.
Well, when I look back over that time, that's a long time. And there's thousands of families that we've helped in a very difficult time in their life. And there were many people that have been employed by Hamlett-Dobson. Yes, we are a family-owned and operated business, but we don't do all of the work. We have wonderful staff, and I think of the people who were here before us. I've been here 24 years. That's just a quarter of that time. And there's been a lot of people who have devoted their lives, their way of doing things to meet our expectations. And I guess a lot of that goes out to those folks and our current staff. We have people that have worked for us for 50, 40, 30, 20, 10. I mean, and our retention rate has been exceptional. So we're very blessed. We're very thankful.
Chad, if people want more information on Hamlett-Dobson Funeral Homes, where can they find you?
Well, they can find us right here in downtown Kingsport at 117 East Charlemont Avenue. We do have a location in the Fall Branch community there on Highway 93. We can be reached by phone, 423-378-3134, or we can be reached through our website at hamlettdobson.com.
Well, Chad Correll with Hamlett-Dobson, thank you so much for hosting us today. More importantly, congratulations on this 100-year anniversary. What a great milestone. What a great testament you are to the Kingsport community. We really appreciate you having us today.
Thank you all.
Okay. And when we come back on your CZ, we'll tell you how the Business Journal is creating a special publication to celebrate Kingsport's 100th.